This is Doug Green, and I'm the publisher of Telecom Reseller, and this is a special podcast for the ASCDI. And I'm very pleased to have with us today Neil Vill of WDPI. Neil, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks, Doug. Great to be with you.
Well, it's really wonderful to be able to do this podcast on behalf of the ASCDI. You're a very long-term, very active member of this association, a very prominent person and company within this industry and within this organization. So it's really a pleasure to have you here today. We're going to be talking about your recent certification, or really certifications with ITAD, and how that changes the game and why that's important to ASCDI members, to the community, and to many technology companies, enterprise companies that might be just happening to be listening or watching. So we're going to dive into that in a second. But Neil, first of all, what is WDPI?
So WDPI stands for World Data Products Incorporated. We've been in business since 1987 in the Minneapolis suburbs, currently in Plymouth, Minnesota. We started off as an independent hardware reseller, selling brands originally manufactured by companies such as Cisco, HP, Dell, and IBM. We're also an authorized reseller of Dell. Along the way, over those last number of years, we developed an internal repair business, which we can offer to clients as well, where we repair all of those items I mentioned. We can go down to the board level, repair power supplies, other devices such as laptops and Chromebooks. And then about 10 years ago, we acquired a company in the certified tape media business that basically goes out and acquires used tape media, those cartridges that everybody remembers, and we bring those back to our facility, fully eradicate the data, and resell them. And that's the business that really got us into ITAD services about 10 years ago. That company, and we still do that, has a team of people that goes on site and does IT hardware decommissioning, on-site audits, data sanitization, secure transport, and a host of other ITAD-related services.
So in fact, you guys had really been sort of in the ITAD market already, and this sort of solidifies that position.
It does, and we decided to pursue these certifications for a number of reasons. One, our customers started to ask for them, both on the end user side and the wholesale side. You know, we deal direct with end users. We also go through other resellers, and we work with other ITADs as a subcontractor. And as a number of them have been paying more attention to data security and the environment, they've been asking us about these certifications. So one of the reasons we pursued these was to really be responsive to our customer requests. Another is we view it as a differentiator. You know, those are really confirmation of the standards that we have. Not everybody has that certification out there. You know, more people are getting it, which is great for business and for the environment. And thirdly, it really helped us improve our processes in certain areas and kind of raise the bar. So, it was a win-win among all three of those elements.
Well, let's dive a little deeper into ITAD. So first of all, can you explain to me what ITAD is? What does that mean?
ITAD, IT Asset Disposition. It's a whole host of offerings and processes where, starting if a company is looking to upgrade or refresh its data center or close something down, it needs to really find a responsible home for the used equipment, whether that's in a resale environment or in a recycling environment. Part of that involves on-site services, such as I mentioned, data center decommissioning, data sanitization, whether that's on-site or at our site. The commitment to either resell these devices, which could be economically beneficial to the seller and to the purchaser, also making sure that the data is fully eradicated. But then in some cases, the data bearing devices have to be destroyed, either logically or physically. And that leads us into working with responsible recyclers who can track these devices, provide certificates that they've been disposed of in an environmentally sound manner. So it's a whole host of services and processes. We don't have the time to go through that. That'd be a several-day podcast, Doug, but I know we're a little bit time constrained today.
Well, as you can see behind me, it looks like beams of light are coming off my head, I think, but I'm actually reporting live from Las Vegas at the Mobile World Congress. Lots of carriers here, lots of enterprises, lots of interest. This is a good example for this question. Why does it matter to the outside world? Why does ITAD matter to really everybody?
Well, it matters. It's the biggest issue is really sustainability and protecting the environment. But there are also other elements within these certifications that are more internally oriented for the welfare of businesses and our employees. If you go down the list, the R2V3 is really a phenomenal standard. Uh, it really stands for responsible recycling and reuse. Some really strict requirements on data sanitization and eradication, and data security, which is a real differentiator. Part of these certifications involve several ISO standards. ISO 9001, which is a quality management standard. World Data had been ISO 9001 certified for about the last 10 years, so we renewed that one. ISO 14001 is environmental management. ISO 45001 is employee health and safety. And we're very proud at World Data. We've been have a track record of over 3 years of accident-free operation in our facility in Plymouth, and we intend to keep that going, God willing. And then the ASCDI ITAD certification is also very important, where in addition to the processes and the operational aspects that those other standards focus on, ASCDI adds to it the commitment to a code of ethics, which is unique in the industry, and every ASCDI member has to adhere to that. We have stringent membership requirements for that association, and so as a longtime member, as our company, and a longtime board member and former chairman of ASCDI, I'm very proud to see our association going in that direction as well.
So, Neil, it sounds like this is also a great opportunity for the channels to go out there and sell a really amazing value-added service.
It is, Doug. It helps the channel in a number of ways. One, given and also end users in terms of the resale value that we can achieve for the equipment that is coming through the ITAD process. The highest and best use of a piece of equipment is to keep it in use. And the origin of our business was hardware resale. So our wholesalers or equipment traders know how to maximize the value of that equipment for the client, whether that's an end user client or a wholesaler or another ITAD who has the end user relationship. So that is a huge advantage, I think, that World Data can deliver, given our history of being in that resale market. We're not just turning it around and flipping it on eBay or somewhere else. We can really maximize value.
So, Neil, it also sounds like channels should be really alert to this, because if you're working with customers and you're in the course of sales and working with them, you're pulling out equipment, you are really not doing them a service if you're disposing of it incorrectly.
That's correct. And so by virtue of the processes we've always had, plus now with the new certifications, we're disposing of everything appropriately. Items that can be reused will be reused and resold at the maximum value we can get. Items that are no longer suitable for reuse will be recycled in a proper manner. And so, channel partners can trust us, as they've trusted us with, other areas of business since 1987, to do the right thing and to uphold, the environmentally sound and business sound practices. Another advantage we can offer is additional resources and feet on the street. Some of these ITAD opportunities are, to use a technical term, lumpy. They're not necessarily regular. And if a project comes up where a channel partner needs additional resources, whether that's feet on the street or processing capability, warehousing, or logistics, we can offer that through our facility in Plymouth, Minnesota, from a facilities perspective. But we can also send our team, anywhere in the country to help with on-site projects.
Neil, with regard to the end users of the enterprises, we're living at a time of great transition, hybrid, companies getting rid of whole floors of office space and all the equipment on those floors. Sounds like enterprises need to be alert to this too.
They do, and hopefully, with the movement toward ESG, environments, social aspects, governance, I think more enterprises are becoming aware of this. In fact, they're adopting goals along these lines. So we're here to help in terms of achieving those particular goals. And again, it's the right thing for the business. There are certain business objectives that can be met and environmental objectives that can be met.
You said when we were preparing for our podcast today that it even has some opportunities for the other ITAD companies?
Uh, the benefit we could offer to other ITAD companies is, as a subcontractor, we can facilitate your broader reach, the processing capability that we have, the resale capability that we have to maximize value, relationships we have with responsible recycling partners, and also logistics. We have a facility in the upper Midwest that is very convenient to several major cities. Could help reduce costs of transportation for this equipment. We can't, if we can ship it via ground versus air, for example, or the closer it is, we can go pick it up with our own people on secured trucks and that sort of thing. So we can help reduce cost and increase their reach and provide a better service to the end user enterprise customers that the other ITADs have.
So Neil, you were telling me something very interesting that is unique about WDPI amongst the companies in the ASCDI, maybe in the really most of the ITAD industry as well.
Well, we were fortunate, Doug, to actually buy back the company from a private equity investor about 18 months ago. And now we are 100% owned by 9 employees, and we're not an ESOP. These ESOPs have different kinds of restrictions, but I think it's unique in our industry that we're a fully employee-owned company of that nature. Many times it's founder and spouse, sort of an inner circle of owners. And I'm really proud that we've been able to offer this common equity ownership to a broader range of employees. And it is unique, I believe, in our industry. And certainly our people are very revved up about that. And I'm very happy to see that.
Well, Neil, we've talked in our conversation today about enterprises, about channels, about different types of companies. How does everyone do business? How can we learn more about your company and these services?
Well, we've have our website, which has extensive content on that and contact information. Feel free to email me, neil.vill@wdpi.com. That might be on the screen later, or maybe not, but I'm in the ASCDI directory. I'm on LinkedIn. We have a great team of people, too, who I could direct anybody to for particular, more detailed advice on resale, valuation of products, and that sort of thing. But certainly, please contact us in whatever is easiest method for you out there, and we'd be happy to help.
Well, Neil, I really want to thank you for joining me today. This has been really interesting. I hope we get to do one in a few more months and find out how everything's going, update us on what you guys are doing. But for now, thanks very much.
Thank you, Doug. Look forward to that. Appreciate the time. Thanks very much.